At the tone, please record your message. One for more options.
Happy Halloween, guys. Welcome back to Roxham TV and also welcome back to Gem Crypto, whichever platform you're watching on. Well, I hope you guys are having a fantastic day. Well, as for Bitcoin, it's very funny that Bitcoin is not doing so well because, well, I checked the price this morning and I was like, wait, what the hell is happening? Like, because we have actually quite a lot of good news because first of all, we have the QT coming to an end. We have the confirmation from Jerome Powell that basically on 1st of December is going to come to an end. So no more QT. And then we also have the basically a more positive news between Xi Jinping and also with Donald Trump. So there's a truce between basically the two most powerful countries in the world. So when I checked the price, I was like, okay. But anyways, I hope you guys are still gonna enjoy Halloween because I'm definitely gonna have some fun after the live stream. I'm gonna go out and then hopefully not gonna stare at the chart as much over the weekend. So I hope you guys gonna do the same because sometimes touching grass is actually good for your mental health if you didn't know that already. Anyways, we're gonna dive into the chart, like look at where Bitcoin is heading to, and also we're gonna look at some on-chain. Perhaps we could have some more idea where Bitcoin is heading to, whether it's a leg up or leg down. But all we can see right now is that momentum is really building up. So let's dive in, and we're also going to look at some news because I really want to look at MicroStrategy. Yesterday we have the Q3 earning, and it's better than expected. Though MSTR price come a little, it could be better because like at the end of the day, like MSTR has been trading below the 50-week moving average for quite some time, so that's really not fun. We're also going to look at some AI. There's this new trend, x402. I heard about this trend actually yesterday from a friend of mine, and then he was telling me, okay, this AI trend, where, because initially when I thought about this AI trend, I thought it's some meme coin, and I have been in the space long enough to know that a lot of trends, so-called narratives, is just come and go. So that's what I told my friend. But apparently, when I was doing my research, the more I learned about this is actually it's quite legit. So that's why I want to dive deeper and share that to you guys. And we're gonna look at some humanoid robot scenes because we cover that on Roxham TV. It's called Neo. So there's like this new robot entering, but like I was watching the review from Wall Street Journal, and apparently it really is a flop. So I decided to basically look into that and actually some review and why I think is definitely a waste of money, and just like ignore that stuff. When it gets better, then perhaps we could actually purchase and spend 20,000 to have this robot at home. Anyways, like we're gonna start with the hourly chart of Bitcoin, starting from the shorter time frame, and we're slowly gonna move on to the daily and also in the weekly. So slowly building up that time frame. So starting from the hourly chart on the shorter time frame, we drew this like rising support trend all the way since 103K. So that's happened on Friday, on basically 17th of October. So 17th of October, like, we have this like rising trend. So however, what I've seen from Bitcoin is that we have broken out of this rising support, which is showing weakness. And again, like the more we trade around this trend, so we kind of like broke below the support trend yesterday. So we talked about this as well, but like the more we spend and trade around this support trend, the weaker it will get. So that's what we have seen. A few hours ago, that was 8 o'clock on the 30th of October, we broke below the support trend, and then we're actually closing below. So that is another weakless sign that I don't like seeing. So for the coming hours, I really want to see Bitcoin get above this support trend. Otherwise, do expect some more pain, so some more correction to come. And another range that I'm eyeing very closely is actually between 106 to 107. So wait a sec. So 106 to 107. Sorry about that. So 106 to 107. So if we dip below, like, okay, the more we test and stay inside this region, the weaker the support will get. So what happened a few hours ago when we were sleeping in Asia is that Bitcoin touched 100 and 106K. So we have one or two hourly candle actually closing inside this region, and we quickly bounce back up. So I don't want to see Bitcoin stay inside this region too much, because again, like the more we stay inside as support, the weaker the support will get. The same actually applies to the resistance. So the more we consistently touching the same resistance level, the weaker the resistance will get. So we're going to get a breakthrough. So however, like for this scenario, for what Bitcoin is doing right now, it looks like that is showing weakness. So I really need to see Bitcoin get above this rising support. Like if we even lose this 106 to 107K, do expect a deeper correction. So in terms of bigger correction, we now need to zoom out to 1 day. So the daily chart of Bitcoin to see where that support is lying. So if we lose this, let's also draw another rectangle. And so the next support that I'm eyeing very closely is 101K. So 101 to 102K. If we lose basically 106 to 107K, then we're going to get down to 101K. That's another range that I'm eyeing very closely, because that is the prior low back in June. So again, the prior low is going to be our future support. So hopefully if Bitcoin managed to get back to this like rising support, then that's a good sign. However, it really depends on how Bitcoin plays out in the coming hours. One thing I kind of worried is that, so if we pull out the VLVP, we look at the volume, if we actually lose that 101K, we are seeing this like empty volume right here. What this means is that if we lose this consolidation, so if we lose this range between 101 to 102, it's basically a free fall. Like there isn't much support to come in until we see 100. To see 95 to 96K. So if we lose 102, it's a free fall directly goes to 96K. So that's one thing the volume is suggesting us. Although I'm not like completely bearish right now. It really depends on how the hourly goes. So I have to watch this closely. Like even though I want to just like enjoy my weekend, but like I'm too addicted to checking CoinGecko every half an hour. So all right, so what I want to see is Bitcoin really get above this rising support. Otherwise, like the bearish scenario is very much still on the table. I'm not like completely bearish, because at the end of the day, if we hop onto the weekly chart, let's close the VLVP. So let's pull out the 50-week moving average. Like at the end of the day, we are still above the 50-week moving average. So the 50-week is sitting at 102, very close to 103K. Even the week of 10th of October till the 20th of October. So even this 2 weekly candles, we have a massive crash in the market. We're still technically above the 50-week moving average. So as long as we stay above, there isn't a reason for me to be that bearish. But again, we need to know that we are definitely at the later stage of the bull market. The reason why I would say this is, well, when it comes to the 4-year cycle, we are really pushing it. So people say that the top is in on 6th of October. Again, there are 3 types of people. Like the first type is that the top is 126K. So sell your bags, and then we're going to see you in the next cycle. So that's group number 1. And then group number 2 is the maybe we're going to see a cycle top in November and December. And I have to be honest with you, I'm more siding with group number 2, because when it comes to 4-year cycle, there is different measurement you could take. So I'm taking from the cycle top to cycle top. So that's how I got November. That's how I got November and December. And then the third group of people is that this cycle is going to be so different that is becoming a macro asset. So it's actually no longer gonna have a bear market anymore. So anyways, like one of this scenario gonna play out. So what we have to do as a good trader, as a professional trader, is really starting to ask yourself that question. Like, if either of this scenario plays out, you're still going to be okay. Like, okay, because very interestingly, I have a personal experience, because I know that looking at the chart that we have the 4-year cycle playing out, there is a possibility that we're going to see a cycle top on 6th of October. So I was having this discussion with my friends. They are in more like TradFi, so they're kind of like asking me for advice. They have BTC, so they were asking, okay, what could they do? And I throw out that question because I was meeting them on 3rd of October. And then I asked them, okay, is it okay for you to, okay, there's a risk that we're going to see a cycle top on 6th of October. Like, if you miss out that chance, do you feel okay with holding your Bitcoin for a year and a half, like throughout the whole prolonged bear market? So some of my friends, they're saying, okay, they actually don't care because that's what they did for their past cycle. So they're completely okay with holding the Bitcoin for another at least 1.5 years during the bear market. Some friends of mine say they are not okay, like they might as well just take profit. Some of them would take a massive profit, some of them just like slowly take profit when it goes up. So it really, like, what I'm trying to say here is that we know either of this scenario going to play out, and how you do it, like what's your conclusion, it really depends on your financial needs. Like, everyone has different situations. So like, if either of this scenario they have the possibility, so try thinking it right now. Okay, if number 1 plays out, like if we have seen the 126k as the cycle top already, like, what you gonna do? Like, okay, if the second scenario play out, what you gonna do? What if that one play out? What you gonna do? So really ask yourself this question: are you okay with holding your BTC for another 1.5 year, even during the bear market? Like, for myself, I like to separate my trading account and also my investing account. So as for investing, I absolutely have no problem holding my Bitcoin for another, even for a few years, because I know it's going to be digital gold. So I know long term my money in Bitcoin gonna worth more. So that's why I don't have an issue. But like, if you have an issue, if you're losing sleep, if like the scenario number 1 plays out, like the cycle top is already in, if you have an issue, then maybe it's okay to take a little bit profit. Again, every single one have different situation, and I am not a financial advisor, so really depends on your personal need, your financial need, and then you adjust your portfolio accordingly. All right, so that's for the TA. Let's also move on to the on-chain so that we could have more comprehensive analysis. The first indicator that we're looking at is the short-term holder, SOPR. So what this is that, okay, it stands for short-term holder spend output profit ratio. It tells us if short-term Bitcoin holders are selling at a profit or a loss. When the value, again, let me zoom closer. When the value is above 1, it means sellers are making a profit. When it's below 1, it means they're selling at a loss. So this metric is helpful because it shows the mood of short-term traders, whether they feel greedy or fearful or basically tired of holding. In more simple wording, it tracks the emotional ups and downs of newer investor who often drive quick price swings. So what's happening right now is that recently the short-term SOPR has been moving in a tighter range. Like you see, it's getting very close to the to number one, so the one indicator here. So showing that both profit taking and panic selling are slowing down. This usually happens when the market is preparing for a big move, either up or down. In past cycles, when the short-term SOPR became calm like this, it often signaled the traders were exhausted and Bitcoin was ready to pick a new direction. Right now, the ratio is close to neutral, as we can see here. It's getting tighter, right? Meaning the next strong move could be just around the corner. In short, like the calm, basically we're experiencing the calm before the storm. The market may be gearing up for next major impulse move, but like, okay, for now is unclear. Bitcoin heading to which direction? Like just using on-chain analysis. Let's move on to the next one. So Bitcoin, magical lines, all these like moving averages. So we have 128-day moving average, 200-day moving average, and 365-day moving average. So this helps trader understand Bitcoin's overall trend by smoothing out short-term price movements. They act like trend lines that show where the market could find support or resistance. When Bitcoin's price is above a moving average, it often means the trend is strong and bullish. When it's below, so right now we are sitting at below some of the moving averages, right? It means that, okay, of course, showing weakness. Right now, the focus is actually the short-term one, so 128-day moving average. Focus on the blue line at the top. This is the level many traders use to track short-term trend changes. And what's happening right now, as you can see, we fell below the 128-day and also the 200-day moving average, meaning short-term momentum is weakened. The price is now hovering just above, is kind of way above, but like it's above 365-day moving average, meaning it's like 101K. That's an important long-term support. If Bitcoin managed to bounce from this area, it would show buyers are stepping in to defend the trend. If it drops below 100K, that could trigger more selling. On the other hand, if Bitcoin reclaims 114, that's the short-term one, right? 128-day moving average, that will be a strong signal that, okay, bulls are taking the control, like bulls are back in the market. All right, let's move on to the third on-chain model that we're looking at is the terminal price. It is a long-term Bitcoin valuation model built from, of course, like real on-chain data. It's based on something called the transfer price. What it means, okay, it measures the value of coins when they move on the blockchain. This helps show the real economic weight of Bitcoin over time, not just trading noise. By adjusting for Bitcoin's 21 million fixed supply, the terminal price, so the red line is the terminal price estimates what Bitcoin's total true value would be if all coins were active in the market. Is one of the most reliable tools to identify macro tops, the points where long-term holders would usually start selling very heavily and speculation peaks. All right, so what's happening right now is that, okay, if in every past cycle, Bitcoin's price has peaked close to the terminal price line, this has made it a very powerful signal for spotting overheated market. Today, Bitcoin's price is still far below the terminal price. So terminal price is sitting at 270,000. That means, historically speaking, we are not in a danger zone. That means we are not in a cycle top just yet. Right now, Bitcoin is just like consolidating in tight range below key levels like the 128-day or 200-day moving averages, but above major long-term support. So these setups often happen before large breakouts. As long as Bitcoin stays above 100K and continues holding key supports, the data suggests that we are basically at the late stage building up, not the full blow off top yet. In short, the cycle still has room to grow, like using this terminal price, and this current slowdown might just be another calm for a big move up, I would say. Anyway, so that's a lot of data to digest. Uh, in the next part of the segment in the show, I'm gonna look at some basically MSTR. We have the latest Q3 earning, and also we have the, of course, humanoid robot and x402 402. But before we head on to the news analysis, let's take a little break because that's a lot of data to digest, and I'll see you guys after the ad break.
Security matters. Zappo Bank, the only way to bank your Bitcoin. Apply now at zappobank.com.
So, tell us about your furry friend here. What's his name?
Oh, this? This is Bitcoin.
Bitcoin.
It's not just a cat, he's family.
Quite a name, and I must say, looks quite pampered.
Oh, absolutely. Bitcoin deserves nothing but the best. He's my little prince.
But with such a valuable pet, aren't you afraid of losing him?
Losing Bitcoin? No, it never happened before, so it's not something I worry about. Excuse me for a moment. Bitcoin, stay here, right?
Bitcoin, no! Bitcoin! Come on, little buddy! Bitcoin! I need you! Don't go!
Alright guys, welcome back to Roxanne TV. As I promised you guys before we went on a little break, we're going to look into MicroStrategy because yesterday they released a Q3 earning, marking one of the most transformative quarters in company history. So that's really something. So anyways, let's look at the basically some more numbers from MicroStrategy. So actually after its August rebrand, MicroStrategy, or actually strategy, but I'd still call it MicroStrategy because I'm a boomer. So they officially position itself as the world's first Bitcoin treasury company, applying fair value accounting for its Bitcoin holdings for the very first time. So that's why Q3 earning is so important, because they're using a different accounting standard, basically a different weights of measuring the Bitcoin net worth. All right, so here's some important numbers. So for the reported net income, they reached $2.8 billion. And as for the earning per share, so EPS, they reached $8.42, while the expectations is somewhere about $8. So that's really good. And in terms of the revenue, is reaching $128 million. It's up 10% year over year, mainly driven by subscription growth. And also in terms of unrealized Bitcoin gains, let's hop on to the financials and Bitcoin holdings of MicroStrategy. So right now they're holding 640,000 BTC on the balance sheet. Michael Saylor actually called it like the most important call in our history. They were doing this live stream. They invited some of their really important figures to join the live stream, and of course, like the team were explaining to the crowd about the digital credit products. We're gonna dive into that a little bit further. And the live stream yesterday was extremely popular. So this is just like one of the posts. They have like 22,000 views, but like in total, it's definitely more than 25,000 views joined the live stream just to hear MicroStrategy's vision. Yeah, so we know that MicroStrategy, out of the entire Bitcoin treasury trend, they hold the most BTC. And they also, because they have been getting into the BTC trend, BTC market since 2020. So the average cost for MicroStrategy is a lot lower compared to other Bitcoin treasury companies we have seen in the list. That's why, you know me, because if you have been watching my show, I've been actually being very bearish in terms of the Bitcoin treasury scene, the whole narrative. And I think MicroStrategy could get away from this because the average cost is a lot lower compared to the other copycats we have seen in the market. And also, another reason is that MicroStrategy is a pioneer. So Michael Saylor has kind of built a cult culture around this, how to use different financial tools to raise funds just to buy more Bitcoin. And then, of course, their goal is to have like 30% amplification of Bitcoin exposure through capital raises, not that. So that's a key difference when it comes to other copycats. Like more than 100 companies, they are the copycats of MicroStrategy. And then all holdings, we could see like there are no loans, no collateral pledges, like meaning even if Bitcoin dumps a lot, MicroStrategy doesn't need to put the Bitcoin as collateral, so they don't get liquidated, basically. That's what it means. And Michael Saylor really framed this Bitcoin as appreciating collateral, the opposite of assets like real estate or hardware that lose value over time. And when it comes to another really controversial stuff, that's the MNAV. So that's the premium right now sitting at like, of course, like over 1x. The reason why we have to focus on MNAV so much, basically, is the market premium of strategy stock versus fair value of its Bitcoin per share. When the stock trades above 2.5x MNAV, issuing new common share is fine. Like the premium means shareholders gain more BTC per share, while below 2.5x, however, selling equity would actually dilute BTC ownership. This is the policy that's set by MicroStrategy, so just to protect investors from it. However, we have the a little incident, not really incident, but like some controversy stuff. So in Q2 this year, Michael Saylor pledged not to issue common stocks below 2.5x MNAV, except for like interest or dividends. So investors like that very much because that's discipline. However, the issue is in August this year, the company quietly added a loophole. It could issue stock below 2.5x when otherwise deemed advantageous. So this walkback came only 2 weeks later and set a massive backlash on X, on Reddit. Like people were accusing that Michael Saylor breaking the promise and being completely a Ponzi scheme. So people were really unhappy about this. So they called off this 2.5 MNAV because they saw the crowd reaction. And what happened in Q3 is that they are reassuring people like no common issuance below 2.5x mNAV, except for narrow tactic uses, maybe for interest or dividends. Basically, they're trying really hard to restore that confidence and highlighted in analyst note as a shareholder-friendly move. So why does this matter? Because like this flip-flop jumping back and forth about that 2.5x mNAV, that is credibility loss, like because it arrived just as the stock premium vanished and the market fear dilution. Some retail holders label it as Ponzi, but the Q3 reassurance shows Saylor listen to feedback and actually pivot back to discipline. And as for today's stance, MicroStrategy now leans more towards the preferred stock product. So preferred stocks, they are STLD, STLK, STLC, and STLF. So these are, okay, instead of using convertible bonds, they are using preferred stocks to raise funds to basically purchase more BTC. So it really depends on your own risk tolerance because this is so-called the digital credit products, and they are backed by Bitcoin that pay tax-deferred dividends and fund new BTC purchases. Some of these, they have fixed dividends paid out regularly, quarterly. Some of them, I think, monthly. Some of them, they don't. So it really depends on your risk appetite. And if you prefer some consistent cash flow coming in, yet having that Bitcoin exposure, then you could consider institutions like Morgan Stanley and Robinhood now offer these products to clients as well. And in terms of this earning, because it beat expectation, it was better than people expected. Like MSTR reacted a little bit positively. So we have this like tiny pump after the market. So it rose like 4 to 6% after hours. And yeah, I mean, but zooming out, MicroStrategy still got a lot of catching up to do. Anyways, the bigger picture here is that we know the whole Bitcoin treasury trend kind of like dying down. There are more than 100 of copycats, like 100 companies of copycats now hold BTC and trying to turn that into so-called Bitcoin company, a Bitcoin bank. Strategy, of course, is leading the way. They have like 3% of the entire Bitcoin supply. There's still short-term risk because like over-leveraged treasuries may sell BTC during slowdown, creating volatility. So some people are speculating, like, would this trend actually be the black swan event we would see in 2026? Because when it comes to turning Bitcoin, like becoming a Bitcoin proxy company and raising funds to purchase BTC, the method of you raising fund becomes very critical. Like, are you using that to raise fund to purchase that BTC, or are you selling shares to raise that BTC? Because if you sell shares, and a lot of these companies is what I call zombie companies because they don't have healthy cash flow. They're actually losing money quarter from quarter, yet they're still getting into BTC market. So that's not what I want to see in the overall trend, but it is what it is. Like, still have to deal with it. Like, Bitcoin's still gonna be okay in the long term, but like there's speculation right now. Like, if some of these companies, and I don't mean MicroStrategy, I think MicroStrategy is still gonna be fine because it's the leader and it actually came out with this strategy from Michael Saylor himself. But I'm talking about the rest, like all these copycats. Like, if one of this, if they don't manage the debt to equity ratio very carefully, then it might create some cascading effect. So that's maybe another narrative to look for 2026 if you believe that 2026 is gonna have a deeper correction. All right, let's move on to another topic of the day. So x402. This is apparently what everyone is talking about, and it popped up like a few days ago, like less than a week. So it's a rising trend across crypto and tech circles about this like x402, and it's not another meme coin. It's actually a brand new internet payment standard that could transform how we pay online. Because as I mentioned in the beginning of the show, when I heard this like x402 from my friend yesterday during Shisha, and my instant reaction was that, is that another meme coin or another I don't know, NFT standard? Because there's a bunch of NFT standards. So my reaction when I heard about this term was quite negative until I learned about this and what they can actually do. So the tech is legit, although we're seeing a bunch of altcoins, a bunch of meme coins being categorized under this x402. So here's all the coins being categorized under this narrative. So do be careful because there's a lot of risk involved when it comes to like trend like this on CoinGecko. Because trust me, I've seen altcoins going to zero like this, and maybe like in 2 weeks, then the x402 ecosystem on CoinGecko is no longer be hot. So anyways, we're not talking about meme coins here. We are talking about the actual tech. So what is this like x402? Why is this so popular? Okay, imagine this. Imagine reading an article or watching a video or having your AI assistant buy data, and instead of signing up or subscribing or filling out forms, you just need to pay a few cents instantly. That's what x402 does. It finally turns on a long forgotten part of the internet called the HTTP 402 payment required, making the web itself capable of handling small and automatic payments. So this is, in more simple terms, like what the hell this is, x402. It is an open protocol that let websites and apps accept tiny payments directly, all built into normal way the internet works. So when you access a paid page, for example, okay, whenever require a payment for some payments to read some article on the Financial Times, you have to pay like a monthly subscription. But like imagine everything is handled, so your browser, your wallet, or AI automatically pays using stablecoins like USDC, and access is unlocked instantly. You don't need to log in. It doesn't ask for your email, or you don't have to subscribe, because at the end of the day, you're just trying to read one article alone on Financial Times. So why would I pay for that monthly subscription, right? So it's seamless microtransaction, and this really does matter because this would completely reshape how we pay online. For that case, I would say small transactions weren't practical. Like banks, we know that they are charging way too much for what they do, and credit cards can't handle micro amounts. x402 actually fixes all of that. So using that Financial Times example again, like you can read one article and actually just pay a fraction of a cent for that article alone, because I only want to read that. And then when it comes to AI agents, we know we're gonna have a swarm of AI agents. Basically, is the future. So all these AI agents will actually talk to each other. They're gonna make transaction with each other. They're gonna handle all these like business matter with each other. So this is the world we're heading to. I am speculating that all these AI agents would have their own expertise. Maybe one AI agent is an expert in designing, I don't know, thumbnail, and then another AI agent is an expert in writing scripts. So all these AI agents will come together, and they're gonna have to make basically business with each other. So okay, could you make this thumbnail for me, and then in return, could you, I don't know, write script for me? So this is I think this is the future we are heading to. But in order for these AI agents to actually come up with some work, there's still some micropayments involved, maybe a fraction of a cent. And this is where it comes in, like x402, they are unlocking this feature. And when it comes to like APIs and data servers, developers can charge per call or per second of use. So I'm seeing this a huge win-win situation, both cheaper for users and net income streams for creators. How it works, okay. The easy version is that, okay, we know when it comes to the internet, there's the status codes. For example, 404 means not found. Well, 402 right now was reserved for payment required, but it was, of course, is never used until now. X402 brings that code to life. It tells browsers or AI, okay, send this payment, then re-enter the request. Everything happens automatically within seconds. So when I heard about this, my first question I asked my friend yesterday was that, okay, is this another so-called crypto startup trying to build a narrative and the whole team is anonymous? Because I get really sensitive. I have seen typos and I have altcoins that dump 99%. So I was being very careful, but turns out the team, so the tag was actually legit because x402 was created by Coinbase. Of course, it's like the America largest crypto exchanges, and it's also a listed company and is included in the S&P 500, and is supported by Cloudflare, which powers millions of websites worldwide. The whole thing is open source, meaning anyone can use or build on it for free. Think of it like HTTP for payments, which is a common standard that any website can implement. So I would say, like, my concern was gone. Like, this isn't some crypto folks building for crypto people. Like, this is real institutional and TradFi supporting it. That's another green flag. So Coinbase, Cloudflare, and also PayPal Ventures has invested in x402 related projects. So yeah, the crypto community is buzzing about it, and the money and infrastructure behind x402 x402 come from some of the most established institutions in both tech and finance. I do see huge potential, and this will get bigger again because it boils down to the swarm of AI agents flooding in the market basically in the future, in the coming years. And stablecoin is being used from all these like websites to handle all the micro payments. And of course, the whole thing is built upon the Web3 infrastructure. Right now, many tokens are emerging, as we could see on CoinGecko, so just be careful. Like the protocol itself, the whole tag, x402. So they have no native tokens. It's just a standard for payments. They have all these like speculative coins popping up. This may rise or fall. The actual x402 infrastructure powered by Coinbase, Cloudflare, and traditional finance is designed to stay. So just to wrap up, this thing is not a coin, because that's what I thought yesterday. It's an internet standard, is a real thing. It's a bridge between TradFi money, crypto payments, and AI automation. If this standard takes off, it could quietly replace paywalls or monthly subscriptions and logins, letting the web finally do what it was meant to do all along. So let value move as easily as information. All right, so speaking of AI, we also have more news about the humanoid robot scene, because we covered this briefly on Roxham TV when this thing just launched out, when we just got the news that, okay, another humanoid robot is entering the competition, entering the scene. However, as we get more information about this Neo, this latest robot, I have to say I'm really, really disappointed. So we know 2025 has been a year of humanoid robots. So humanoid as in basically all these like humanoid robots, machines that they have legs, they have hands, trying to act like human. They have gone from sci-fi movies to real-world headlines, with companies in the US and China racing to make robots that can walk or talk or even do chores, stay at your home, fold your clothes. Analysts estimate that the global humanoid robot, the home market will hit $2.9 billion this year and could surge to $15 billion by 2030, growing almost 40% annually. So from warehouses to homes, the goal is really simple, is to create robots that can safely handle repetitive work, even elderly care or household tasks. But what we have seen from this prototype, this Neo, this new thing, the company is 1X, is very disappointing. We know the competition is keen, and I really have no idea why they would choose to sell this prototype and when they are unready and sell this prototype. Basically, it's pre-sale to households. As for 2025, we have, Optimus, we have Boston Dynamics, we have Figure, and we have Unitree from China, and they can move really agile. So I have no idea how this Neo gonna come even close when it come to compete with all these like robots in the market right now. All right, so just a little background about this like 1X, why I'm so bearish and so disappointed with this product. So 1X Technologies is a startup that wants to make robots safe and affordable for everyday life. Their flagship model, Neo, this one, it actually looks really cute. Like, I think the different colors, like design wise, I think it's cute. But like in terms of the actual use case, it's useless. So the flagship model Neo launched for pre-order just 2 days ago with a bold claim, being the world's first consumer-ready humanoid robot for homes. And pay attention, the starting price is $20,000, so it's definitely not cheap. Or you can opt for subscription, so around $500 a month. That is for the where is this? So it's for the software updates and AI support. This thing is 5'6" tall. They weigh like 66 pounds and they can lift 156 pounds. It sounds and it looked very impressive because I actually really like the design in terms of the look, how it looked. But like if you actually look into what they can do, there is this trending video from the Wall Street Journal, and of course we have Joanna Stern. She's a very well-respected figure in the tech space. So after the pre-order event, journalists, so Joanna, went to try this out, went to review this video. If you guys are interested in check out, and I highly recommending checking it out. The video is called I Tried the First Humanoid Home Robot. It got weird. So definitely check it out. Like in her demo, Neo, so this robot, appeared autonomous for less than a minute. So what it means is that if we could play that out a little bit, there's actually a dude handling. So this dude handling the robot. So there's no AI involved in this robot. And he is wearing this VR, trying to control this robot here to do chores. So I was so disappointed, and definitely Joanna exposed how, like, what buyers were paying for. They are paying for a dude inside the home to do chores for them. So for $20,000, and we have a not autonomous at all robot. Of course, this is a prototype. This is not what you would get in 2026 and next year. At least that's what the CEO promised. All right, so Well, I personally, I'm really not interested having this robot, basically a puppet in a suit. And having a dude inside my house trying to do, I don't know, like fold my clothes, that is, what about my privacy? I seriously, think, I don't know where this thing would go. I do have ethical concern because we know that tech products like to do pre-sale. Like you can pre-sell or pre-order, okay, so I'll say pre-order a EV right now. They're just basically selling this idea. For the demo video, it's showing that, okay, it's working really well, but it's more like an idea, like what you could expect, but no promises. That's what Neil trying to do. Like they are saying, they make it really clear, and Joanna really exposed, and she confronted the CEO. So the CEO himself, she was asking question like, where do you see this product is going? And the CEO was like, well, since they are a startup and they don't have all these like data, they can't train AI with this like they can't train the robot with all this AI data. They are using the first batch of customer who pre-order the robot and they actually get the robot in 2026 to train that data, basically, to understand how to be a household helper while people, the first batch of people, they have to pay $20,000 just to help you train the robot. So that's how disappointed I am. Yeah, I mean, would you guys pay $20,000 and then don't know for sure in 2026 whether the AI will be ready enough to do chores at my house? Because again, like when it comes to the humanoid robot scene, the competition is really keen. There are much better options. So we have Optimus. So of course, I have a lot of conviction when it comes to Tesla. I've personally been holding TSLA for a very long time. I'm a big fan of Elon Musk. So the track record of Tesla is that the products from this company actually work really well. They have technology from building rockets, solar energy, like building cars. Like building cars, they have all these like data from actual human for more than a decade. Like how would a human react? So it has been training the AI for a long time. So Tesla, like Optimus, I'm really looking forward to it. Of course, like none of these humanoid robots is actually available for everyday people, so for citizens like you and me, but like factories have been testing it out. So I believe like BMW have been using all these like humanoid robots trying to build their cars, trying to put the components together. But these things they aren't ready for household. And the last thing I want is to pay 20,000 and then it doesn't work. The craziest part is if the humanoid robot, like when you get it in 2026, and if doesn't perform like the way you want, like if doesn't fold the clothes or it doesn't mop the floor the way you want, because the fingers that they are doing right now is still not very agile. What you could do is that you could order a service and then there's gonna be a dude, like an engineer, not engineer. So the engineer will come to your house and then he will control the robot for you. So I might as well just order a real person to clean my house. Why would I pay $20,000 for a dude to mop my floor, basically? The whole thing is so bizarre, and I would really advise you guys to watch this video while Joanna was really grilling the CEO. So she confronted the CEO, and then when she was trying out this VL herself, she mentioned that she nearly got motion sickness. And then when it's come to the privacy, is a huge trade-off. Like letting strangers to see your kitchen, to see your bedroom, so that the robot could learn. And then the next batch, I don't know, in coming years, 2028 or something, would have a better robot because you are the guinea pigs. I'm really not interested. Like, I'm out, man. Like, when I saw this news, I was really excited, but now, no, I'm not a big fan. Anyways, do check it out. We are running out of time, so just to sum up, 2025, we are seeing all these like humanoid robots. Revolution is really coming. Some companies like Tesla, they're making real progress. However, companies like Neo, like 1X, it's just exposed how much we still need human and how much is still like a human still behind the curtain. So basically a human inside this costume. So key takeaway, we are not buying these robots, and looks like humanoid robots is still not ready for everyday users to use, like everyday users like you and me. Anyways, that's pretty much all we have time to cover. So that's it for the analysis, of course, coming to you from Roxham TV Hong Kong. Today's is Friday, so I hope you guys have a good weekend. I'm usually live on Roxham from 4 a.m. Eastern Time to 5 a.m. Eastern Time. But next week on Monday is going to be Hong Kong FinTech Week, so I'll be attending the event instead of you seeing me live at this desk. However, we have prepared another valuable interview with a Bitcoin developer. His name is Calvin. So the show will be played out on Monday 4 a.m. Do stay tuned. You can see that on Roxham TV. Final call to action, make sure to follow us on Twitter. So my Twitter is jamjamcrypto_io. Make sure to follow Roxham TV as well. Because we have regular updates. It comes out every like half an hour or something. So make sure to give us a follow wherever you are tuning in. I hope you guys are having a fantastic day, and I'll see you guys in the next show.